All right, Under Pressure versus BU Barracudas. Our first matchup on the day. This one here technically being best of threes. I guess that means I could probably find another second matchup, I guess, to put in. I didn't realize that that was how the brackets had worked there on start. Usually that first and second round were separated. Oh, you know what? Let me make sure I got rosters on the correct side here for you guys. Gotta flip those around. Bam! All right, chat. Under Pressure out on the orange. BU Barracudas in blue. A little bit of pressure here early on either side. Right now, though, good job by Under Pressure, keeping it down the blue. It's James. Will be able to clear this towards the other side if Taimo, I was going to say, if he can get to that and finally find a way to pinch that towards the middle, could open things up. It's a swing and a miss. Brian, oh, double swing and a miss, and it's Brian from the BU Barracudas. Gonna be able to strike first. Another following kickoff, pressure down onto the orange side. Just realized I didn't have my statistics app on the side opened up. Give me a second on that, chat. My bad, my bad. Only been 3 shots in the opening 100 seconds thus far. Make that 4 shots there as 3 of them have been from Under Pressure. The Barracudas literally finding a goal on their 1 shot that they had. We have seen, though, a really good amount of ball possession as well as field control. Of course, just as I was starting to give the Barracudas some praise, Under Pressure finds a way to get there first across the lace. We're all tied up at 1. I am wanting to double check, just make sure that this is, yeah, okay, so this is still best of 3s over here in winners round 1, which means you don't really have much of a feeler out game, chat. So really this game number 1 means a lot. It is going to be Taimo. Will find that 3rd goal, breaks this tie just as we cross that midway line. Oh, defender just there, just can't quite get high enough on it. There's still 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play, though, so you do still have time to turn things back around if you're under pressure. The important thing, though, is you can't allow free ones. I thought that was going to be one that was going to be free for them, however, which would have been a nice tying blow. All right, UK tries to take that up. We'll get the pockets picked. It's Taimo going the opposite way and follows it up as well. It's the first big clear that sends it down, which puts the defense in an awkward spot. Okutan initially just a little too far forward, so tries to find a way to send it up off the backboard, but unfortunately can't get enough oomph on it. It just ends up acting as a centering pass. And just like that, the Barracuda is going to be up by 2. There are still 100 seconds left here in this first game. As I had mentioned earlier, we are seeing a decent amount of both ball and field control from the Barracudas. Although the field possession or the field control has swapped a little bit, and that ball control has closed the gap a little bit. It feels like over the last 90 seconds or so, under pressure has been able to start turning up the pressure. Oh, but could get caught too far forward here. Not going to be the case, but remember that overextension was what allowed the third goal, and now a fourth for under pressure. And for it's Brian, it makes it too easy. That's a big old net, small little ball, too many options. Basically a guessing game at that point from that range for the defender. Here's Brian, can you find the third? Yes, you can. As the Barracudas continue to run it up, and Brian finds the hat trick. Right now, if you're under pressure, just would like to be able to walk into this next game and say, hey, you know what? Maybe they didn't walk away with a win, but we controlled this last minute of play. And what a great way to start things off is Honk. Absolutely doing it to him. And maybe a play like that could be the catalyst for this under pressure squad. I think 50 seconds, not enough time on the clock as far as for this game. But you do still potentially have the ability to walk into game number 2, feel like you've gotten some momentum. Honk gonna be able to find a second. There is still 22 seconds left. As much as I'm talking about just simply trying to build momentum into this next game, I mean, I know my little brother Llama always like to talk about that 10-second rule. That would technically still be in play here. Would be a miracle of a comeback, but could very well be in play, especially if under pressure can get the control off of the kickoff. Fire UK, not going to be able to do so there. Is going to try and gather it in the corner. And you figure as that final 10-second countdown starts, as much as under pressure did make it look good late, it will still be a dub on the board for the Barracudas in a best-of-3 scenario as well. Means they will be putting themselves onto that series point. Barracuda's looking good, man. I do gotta say that it felt like towards the end of that game, we did see that under pressure had slowly started to kind of fight back as far as the control. And I just realized that's a little too far over. That's my bad, chat. Starting to bring back some of the control. And not just because they had those last 2 goals, but you look as far as ball control, field control, they kind of flipped the script on that after about that midway point in game number 1. Of course, the good news as far as for now for under pressure as we do head to the pitch for game number 2 is the score from game number 1 no longer matters. We get a fresh slate. You got 5 minutes on the clock. This is where you come out and put yourself in the driver's seat. Because for the Barracudas, most of their success was relatively early in that first game. They will have some early pressure here. It's a pass to Brian in the middle. It's a raindrop down. Tymo absolutely dunks it on him. And that first goal on the board in game number 2 goes to BU Barracudas. Under pressure. True to the name. Ironically enough, now going to be under pressure once more, having to find a response, hoping that this time around they don't let this Barracuda squad jump out to such a commanding lead. Okutan up in the sky. Ball gets a little away from their hood, but with Fire UK behind them and Honk lying in the shadows, they are still able to maintain the possession. It's Brian, however, that will pick the pocket. sends it down into that orange territory. Brian with the pinch with Tymo. I thought that shot had the angle. It just didn't quite find its mark. Will be under pressure. Up in the sky. Off to Okutan. Looking for the double tap. Oh, swing and a miss. He was there. So close. But close doesn't cut it in this racket, especially at this point. Qualifier number 3. The margin for error. You're running out of time. Nice save by James. Will still allow for the Barracudas to have their lead. Big clear to send it back down in that under pressure side here as well. Fire UK wins the 50. Who gets the ball around the midfield line? That's Brian. Off to Honk, who's going to go from one side of the field to the other. He's past 2. But it will be Brian on the rotation, keeping the possession down here on this orange half. Haven't necessarily been able to make a play towards the goal, so to say. Of course, just as I do say that, what a turnaround. Brian pushes the issue. It hits that corner, which acts as just a perfect centering pass. The Barracudas give themselves the lead. Butan trying to keep it down on this orange side. Hold on, Honk trying to make a play. Was already up. Aggressively moving forward. Does get a touch on it, which will slow down the initial clear out. As much as the orange squad under pressure, able to keep it down in the blue half. They not really enter into that offensive third. So, I mean, you can call it possession if you want, I do suppose. But now with under 2 minutes left, you do look to under pressure to try and figure out something. Remember, this is best of 3 at this point. Only got 90 seconds left. Is not much more time here. Their offense really hasn't been able to get much started up. There's a ball in possession down on this side. Pass back to the middle. Hold on. If they can get some offensive pressure here, but Taimo shuts it down, sends it the opposite way. I mean, it has been a pretty much a slower sort of cook over on that under pressure side, only sitting on the 3 shots for now. And it's not like you've seen very many more from the Barracudas, but of course they have those 2 goals, so the amount of offensive pressure they have is kind of irrelevant. 20 seconds left. More possession being used here. Brian looks to try and potentially center things towards the middle. And away we go. Shot comes across. With that clear, BU Barracudas able to pop out with the sweep. I do apologize for a little fade off there towards the end, chat. I was trying to see if I could figure out what we're going to do for our second matchup, because I didn't realize that both the winners round 1 and winners round 2 were slotted to start at the same time. And I figured since we needed to look for a new one, let's stick on board with the Barracudas and see if they have the ability to take down Fontys in what would be an upset. Fontys goes into qualifier number 3 as our top seed for this week. Barracudas will still be over on that blue side. So let's go ahead and get down into it. This is now best of 5 action as we are into that round number 2 in the upper bracket. James has the control. Friendly fire there with Taimo. Which opens up some space for Fontys to be able to seize the control. Inspire looks for a shot, but it will be Brian with the save. Slow exit here from the Barracudas does allow for Fontys to keep the pressure forward. It's Inspire up in the sky. Brian's on the back wall, has to worry about Jor, who's moving downfield. And Jor able to make the play. Jumps right on in there, pops it across the net, and Fontys has the lead. Now it is going to be over to the Barracudas to look for a way to find a response. I'm trying to think back to that first series. I don't think they were ever behind. Go in a unique position for the day. Oh, I thought Brian was going to have a shot there. Nice job by Byrne, though, to be able to step on in, shuts down that attack. That was an open opportunity. Now they're going the opposite way. I thought Jor was going to be able to find a second. Shut down by Taimo. It's Brian now going the opposite way. Fortunately, that ball just gets a little too far ahead of him. It's still just the 1-goal ball game here for now. George tries to keep the pressure forward here for Fontys, and one thing that they have been doing well is keeping the possession down here on the side. Small lead as far as ball control. Although it has been relatively close. Both teams also sitting low in that shot department. That's only going to be a second shot there. I'm sorry, that was a third one. 3 on the other side as well. Inspire looks to make a play. He's past one. Oh, that double tap would have been filthy if you found the window. Burren was looking for Jor, who was on the fly through the middle of the field. Just couldn't quite connect. It is still 2 minutes left. You do still have more time. I think the important thing right now for the Barracudas, though, is you do have to find a way to get the clear. It's been a lot of pressure down here on this blue side. Jor with the 50 at least sends it over towards the side, while Inspire, already up in the sky, maintains the possession. Looking for the bump on a Taimo, which would have opened up that field. Couldn't quite find it, but it is still more time being spent down on this side. We had talked about a slight lead as far as that ball control earlier for this Fontys University. Well, now they spent about 2/3 of the time down on that blue half. It's gonna be only a very quick visit into the orange half of the pitch. Inspire with a filthy double tap, rises up off of the pass from Burren. It's a 2-goal lead with 76 seconds left to play. James picks the pockets. Can you get this over, Burn? Oh, if you could have, would have had nobody behind to be able to stop that shot. Now after the kablamo, it's free space. Inspire sends that forward. Does get saved, but with a double commit, no one really in a position to find the clear. And it's just more time. That tick, 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 tick dwindles down. Over here on this half. Hold on, opportunity here for James. Maybe finds a pass back to the middle. Brian streaking in, but Inspire gets enough of it, puts it over Brian, and now it's a counterattack the opposite way. If Byrne had the confidence that his teammate was going to be able to get that ball across, would have had a perfect shot opportunity. Understandably, had to bail off of it. We are seeing some double commits from this BU Barracudas squad that makes me think that maybe starting to feel the pressure from this Fontys University's offense. Again, going into qualifier number 3. This is your number 1 seed, and they're showing why. Pretty dominant control. 9 shots as opposed to the sole 3 the Barracudas were able to find. Again, remember, as a difference from that first series that we saw on the day to this one, this is best of 5. So you can pivot and look towards game number 2 if you are the BU Barracudas. Normally, I would say that you would like to have ended game number 1 in a situation where maybe you felt like you had more of the control. I don't think that's quite the case, but you still have the ability to change the pace here in game number 2. Put yourself in the driver's seat because you do have that clean slate. So let's get down to it. It will be Brian taking off to the sky. Inspire trying to shadow on the backboard. Can't get there. Double commit on the save, but it does send it back towards mid. James looking to try and re-enter into that offensive attack. Tymo will at least be able to pick the pocket at mid. Keeps the pressure forward for the boys in blue. Pass to Brian, but Inspire reads it like a book. Jumps the passing lane, and now is a counterattack the other way. Jor to Inspire. Left as a center. No, it's actually a shot opportunity, and that's off the post. Now it's Brian going the other way. Not going to be able to find the bump after the shot opportunity. Tymo, is that just in? No, it's Jor from left to right. Able to get just enough of it. Finds the save. Will be Fontys right back onto the attack. Inspire wins that 50. Looks for a back pass. Everyone called off though. Brian tries to go coast to coast with it. Inspire doing so much here in this game number 2 on both sides of the ball. Five shots have been registered thus far for the Barracudas. Definitely coming in with a little bit of more upbeat approach than we saw in game number 1. Still have yet to see the results. They're going to have to retreat back to the defensive side, gain the possession, which Bryant does. Sends it on down. Double kablamo around the midfield line. 2v2 for just a moment. It's Buran up in the sky, but Tymo will be able to jump on up. Sends it aside. Oh, it's going to be a dangerous whiff, though. Everyone's looking to recover. Here's Jor with it, off that sidewall, looking to go coast to coast. Burns right there for the touch. Oh my goodness gracious. I think everyone was waiting to see what Jor was gonna do with it. Oh. Fontys takes the lead. It's like one of those plays, might not be super fancy, but it is nice. Good read. Jor finds a second, almost does here for Fontys. Now the Barracudas caught in this similar situation, looking for a way to find the clear. Then they've got to find a way to seize the possession and control down here on this orange half. That shot saved by Inspire, who's already got a savior medal, and we're not even halfway through this thing. Inspire looking to go from one side of the field to the other, allowing this Fontys squad spend more time playing keep away. Maybe finds a second. Bang, Inspire does. Jor with enough control. Inspire says, I gotcha. Says, I see Tymo on the far left corner. Let me just put it on the opposite side. Now it'll be 2 goals required from the Barracudas just to simply force an overtime, but the Barracudas will be able to find one off the kickoff. And that's the type of response that you need because there's still plenty of time now that it's back to a 1-goal ball game. Fire keeps it alive and forward for Fontys. Jor looks for a center. No one was there. It was a dangerous look. If anyone was there, it was an easy one-timer. Tymo looks for the clear. Inspire's already there. Keeps the pressure forward. Does have Jor below them if they want to hand this off. Jor will at least keep it forward off that side of that back wall. Big clear coming across. Tymo's not going to be able to find the second touch. However, that's awkward. It leaves it up in the sky. Does give the Barracudas an opportunity to re-enter into this offensive third. Looks like they're going to try and seize the control. Tymo looks for a centering pass, but Inspire already there. Second effort, not going to be able to find its mark. Oh, and now all of a sudden it's numbers. Holy! Brian picks the pockets, and it's too easy. Says, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Jor tried to find the demo. Too smooth, right up and over. Just like that, we got ourselves a tie ball game. Question now becomes, can Barracudas find themselves their first lead in the series? Avoid the overtime would be nice for sure. They've got the control entering into the offensive half, or at least a little bit of it. Unfortunately, won't be able to maintain it. I thought maybe after the way that this Barracuda squad looked in series number 1 on the day here on the stream, they'd be able to at least steal one, maybe even make things interesting in this series. Well, here we are. It's game number 2, and we're tied up. You win this one, you essentially turn it into a best of 3. What a save coming across by Tymo. Brian tries to flip the field, but it will be Jor who meets him with that pressure just past the midfield line. There's an open field, open net for Buran. And Fontys will take the lead with 21 seconds left to play. Of course, 21 seconds is still time. Don't necessarily need to win the kickoff, but you would like to have at least had some way to quickly regain that pressure. Hold on, open field. Spire gonna be able to at least send it towards the corner. Tymo tries to get a centering pass. Brian will be able to do just that. Oh, but James not gonna be able to get high enough for that one. And once this ball hits the ground, Fontys puts themselves on to match point. This is best of 5, of course, in round number 2, top 16. They did look like they were starting to turn things around there, so maybe, just maybe, you can take this game by game and potentially put yourself right back into it. I do appreciate the follows that are coming across. I do have alerts turned off. That's just that way we can keep the attention on the players during UniRocketeers. But I do appreciate y'all. Hopefully everyone's having themselves a fantastic Thursday. Let's get down into it. It's game number 3. And I just realized that my dashboard at the top still says CCS week number 7. That is my bad, y'all. Yo, rookie mistake. Good news, that was the small text. We still have the rest of it, right? You know what I'm saying? I'll have to own up on that, though. See the Barracudas here. Have early pressure. See if they might be able to find themselves an early goal. Doesn't look like it. Jor going the opposite way. Finds the bump. Ball's on the goal line, but it will be Brian who finds the save. Inspire keeps the pressure forward, though. Oh, nice little handle. Pops it back up for... I thought Burhan was going to move forward. I guess they decided not to. They want to retreat back to the defensive side, but only for a moment. Inspires in the sky, unable to beat Brian to it, who does find the save. Now it will be James who looks for the clear. Remember, reverse sweeps and best of 5s. I mean, it's really not unheard of. I know I had mentioned that it's Fontys going into this qualifier, the number 1 seed. but we have already sent 8 teams in, so that gap a little closer than maybe it was during qualifier number 1, right? Has been so much ball control here early from Fontys, though. I mean, they've had it for a little over 2/3 of the game. Buron is going to send this down into the blue half. Taimo sends it off the backboard, just acts as a centering pass to Inspire, who's going to be able to drill it. Bottom left-hand corner. And we were just talking about the control. I was saying 2/3 of ball control. It was more the field control. Ball possession has been a little bit closer to 50-50, but Fontys will take the lead. Barracudas will find themselves in a very similar situation here now, where they're looking for a response and hoping that this time around it doesn't get doubled down. It's James up in the sky, looks to try and slot that under the bar. It will be Inspire who finds the save. Taimo up in the sky, finds the bump as well, keeps the pressure forward, able to get a swing and a whiff past one. Not quite going to be able to get to the big boost. Would have been nice to be able to deprive Fontys of that little extra resource. But here they are, flipping the field regardless. Jor finds the Kablamo. Oh, Burn, swing and a miss. Allows for Taimo to send it back towards the midfield line. As we do start having this back and forth, this tug of war, you could say, around this 50-yard line. Every time the Barracudas send it into the orange half, it just ends up being a little too far away from them. Allows for that possession to get right back into the Fontys half, and, well, they end up pushing it right back into your side of the field. Gotta find a way to get those passing plays moving down here on this side, I feel like, for the Barracudas. I know they haven't been given very much space necessarily from Fontys. But I wouldn't necessarily say Fontys has been playing suffocating defense either. You have 90 seconds left here, and you only need to find one if you're the Barracudas. But it has been a little while since you've found some success, even looking back towards game number 2. It's a dangerous ball there right in front of the goal. George's shot does sail wide. Buron takes out Brian. James on the backboard here with Taimo as well. Both commit. He's an opportunity for Buron, but it will be Brian who shuts it down. Jor looking for Inspire off of the pass, and that one will not be denied. And Fontys is going to be up 2 just before we enter into our final minute of play. No longer are you at this point where you can say, hey, take more time, make some adjustments. It's now or never. If you are the Barracudas, you cannot afford very many more empty opportunities. I'd say none at this point, really. Because time is not on your side. Taimo looking up for Brian. That pass just a little too far towards that corner. Not able to make a play off of it. There is still 20 seconds, maybe a chance if you can score here in the next 5 to 7. You got the ball in position down on this half. You've got the pressure forward, but with that clear is the relief valve that was needed for Fontys, who I'm sure now at this point feels secure in saying that they've been able to complete the sweep. And they will now be moving up into that winner's bracket quarterfinals, 2 rounds away from securing themselves a spot in that main event. Oh, rickety right, yeah, we've had long enough of a break. Let's go ahead and get down to it. We got ourselves a little bit of quarterfinal action in the upper bracket. The RocKenteers, and I just realized that says RocKenteers. That's not right. The RocKenteers versus DSEA Ignite Red, and it's going to take but 9 seconds. The RocKenteers University of Kent to be able to take the lead. That didn't take long at all, did it, chat? Does look like they're going to get the control off of the kickoff one more time as well. It's Ollie. That's a light little shot that will be able to find its way to be saved. Does seem like, though, the RocKenteers trying to play a little bit faster brand of ball for now. The opposite side of the field, though, is Ignite Red. Z moving forward, able to win the 50. That's off the backboard. Oh, Blooming not quite going to be able to be there for the shot. Picks the pocket here as Blooming will keep Ignite Red down the offensive zone temporarily. Longer so with Z being able to pick the pockets. Can't quite find the bump on the Ollie, however. First minute gone by. Definitely been seeing more possession as far as over in that blue half. Ball control, though, right around 50%. Granted, it's hard to really call it when we're only 75 seconds into things here. Still best of 5 action as well. Here's a rising on up for Ignite Red. Going to be able to punch it home. What a play by Zay. Z. Both teams able to find a little bit of success in the offensive side early. This is our 3 versus 6 seed going into our third qualifier here, chat. Ollie has it, puts it right on that backside of Blooming. Great positioning for the shot. Sees Blooming coming from right to left and puts it on that back bumper. Makes it such a tough save to make. That allows for the RocKenteers to put themselves back in the lead. You still have plenty of time here. If you are DSEA Ignite Red. But they do have to find a way to keep the ball out of the hands of this RocKenteers squad. They've been slowly been able to pull away with that ball possession thus far. They've had a little bit more control here the last minute or so. Ollie looks to keep it alive. One touch, looks for the second off the adjustments. Wide open in front of the net is Marvin. That gets dunked home, and it's now a 2-goal lead for the RocKenteers. You can't help but wonder if that longer time sitting for DSEA Ignite Red might have allowed for this squad to get just a little cold. Granted, it wasn't much time because DSEA was in a 5-game banger in their previous series. Here's Blooming, finding it. No, that's going to sail wide. Z is going to be able to keep the pressure forward. Oh, Marvin pass to the middle. Maddie going to be able to find their way past the midfield line. Not exactly clean, but it is possession nonetheless here for the RocKenteers as they continue to take time off of the clock. Final 2 minutes of play, and Ignite Red still need to find 2 simply to send us to overtime. Ball possession still slightly leaning in favor of the RocKenteers for now. But while the ball possession there, when we talk about the field control, ironically enough, that's slightly in favor of Ignite Red. Of course, field control hasn't resulted in any positives on the scoreboard just yet, just the 1 lone goal, and they still need 2 in the final 75 seconds. Blooming sends it back towards the midfield line. There's Z. Z with a second touch. Blooming unfortunately too far forward. And now it's going to be back on the counterattack. Here are the RocKenteers. Now, sometimes in these best of fives, right, I have said in the past that if you're a team that walks away with the L in game number 1, if you can say you controlled the back half of the game, you can at least look towards game number 2. Try and right the ship and send you over to that rubber match, but I can't necessarily say that's been the case. We've seen a little bit of slowdown of the RocKenteers here in the last 2 minutes. That is going to be a 4th goal added on by Maddie here at the end. Granted, it is simply a cosmetic goal. You win by 2, you win by 3. It's still a 1 solo win on the series score. I think it is important here in game number 1 as well. Because that one there means everyone, picked one up here in game number 1 as far as from the side of the RocKenteers. Everyone getting a little bit of success on the offensive side. Maddie might even be able to add one more. That one, truly a cosmetic goal. But you know what? That is more frustration, I would imagine. Over from this Ignite Red side, who does walk into this winner's quarterfinal matchup as the favorites. They're now going to be playing from behind. As game number 1 goes strongly in favor of the RocKenteers. 6 shots as opposed to the 10, so it was not like a huge shot disparity. The big thing as far as for the side of the RocKenteers, 10 shots, 5 of which found the back of the lace, so that's quite a bit of efficiency. Not exactly sure what the change has to be heading into game number 2, but it doesn't look like they're worried about trying to formulate a plan. Everyone's readied on up. 6 players ready to get back out onto the pitch, so let's go ahead and do it here, chat. Game number 2. Let's get it. Figure right now going into this, Night Red would like to be able to put themselves into the driver's seat early. They are going to spend the first little bit of possession in their defensive half. Zay looks to send it up. It will be off Babunzama. Nice look towards Blooming. Just can't quite dial it up in time. Marvin loses the 50, so this ball will still be down in front of this RocKenteer net. Quick flip of the field. Here's Marvin. It's a centering pass off of the corner, high up in the sky. Double commit, though. See if the RocKenteers might be able to punish. Maddie has no gas in the tank, but did catch Zay lurking away from the goal. Marvin tries to tap it down, but can't. A lot of players sitting on low boost here for the side of Ignite Red as they are able to at least find the clear. Kablamo says Maddie onto Baboon. As now it's going to be a transition play. Ooh, I thought that was going to be it. But the RocKenteers 2 up means Maddie has to be more disciplined and patient as the third will at least initially slow things down around the midfield line. Now here's a play on out. Zay has to find at least something to delay and is able to do that, but will be able to flip the field. Maddie, the last one to beat. Blooming has the ball on the sidewall. It is towards the net. Maddie sends it back towards the center of the field. Dangerous spot, though, as this ball is coming down right in front of the key. Does get sent towards the sidewall one more time. Blooming's up, gathers it, but can't quite get enough oomph to make it threatening towards the net. Plenty of possession, but all for naught, as now we go the opposite way. Two minutes gone by here in game numbers 2, and we are still all tied up. This time around, things a little bit closer when we talk about the field control and the ball control. Marvin has a chance for a double tap. Can't find it. Maddie on the follow-up. Can't as well. Baking here, Maddie. The flick of the wrist puts it up into play. Ali looks to try and drop it right back in front of Maddie for a follow-up, but not enough momentum for Maddie to get to it. Here's Z in the corner. Looks for a pass towards the middle. Actually was going for a second opportunity on their own right. Dangerous 50. Luckily one will slow things down as far as that transition play from the RocKenteers. Matter of fact, they get sent right back into their defensive half. Baboon Sama gets kablamoed. And now it's the RocKenteers with the chance. Ollie takes out the third back. Zay needs to get a touch and does. Has open field, plenty of space. Pass towards the middle, Blooming's there. Ollie with the save, Baboon with this follow-up opportunity. That gets shut down. Zay not going to be able to find it either. That's a counterattack the opposite way. Gets shut down around the midfield line. Final 100 seconds of play here in game number 2. Oh, that's over one defender. Maddie can't quite find the handle. Marvin with the bump. Blooming does have more gas in the tank. Sends it back towards the midfield line where Baboon's at to at least send it further into blue territory. But nobody able to truly keep the handle. Dangerous 50. Gets enough of it to slow it down. Maddie has a shot. Oh, that's going to sail high. Marvin follows it up with a nice pass to the middle. I believe Ollie had already wanted to retreat back to the defensive side. Didn't want to give anything away for free and was in position there to find the save from Zay. Final 50 seconds of play here in game number 2. Abuzama. Then by Blooming, Z has some space, and bang, there it is. Ignite Red get their first lead of the series. Are still 44 seconds. You have time if you are the RocKenteers. Maddie with it, under one. Marvin with the shot. Bang, what a response. Look at the patience and the precision from both the pass and the shot. And just as quick as DSEA Ignite Red probably thought they were walking away with a win in game number 2, things are all tied back up. Still in danger of seeing this RocKenteers squad put themselves onto series point. Marvin over one. Going to be able to find the 50 over Blooming. Blooming can't find that second touch though, which will allow the RocKenteers right back into the offensive half. Pass to the middle, and oh my goodness gracious, it's back-to-back goals. This one by Ollie, and just like that, the RocKenteers take the lead with 15 seconds left to play. Deflating. First thing that comes to mind for me for this Ignite Red squad. You fought tooth and nail. It was so close throughout the entirety of the game. You thought you finally take the lead. Thought maybe, just maybe, that was going to be enough to send you to the rubber match all tied up, but instead, it is 2 unanswered goals in the final minute by the RocKenteers. That puts them up 2-0 in the series, has them 1 game away from securing themselves a dance against Bathelona for that first qualifier spot on the day. A lot of pressure was put forward when you look for Ignite Red, only outshot by 1. And just like after game number 1, they don't want much time to think about it. They want to get right back out to the pitch and get down to it. So let's go ahead and run it back one more time, and let's get down and do what it do. Will be Babuzama in the sky. Wins the first 50, but assisted by Maddie to be able to flip the field. Maddie already up in the sky, though. Drops it down to Marvin. Hold on, can Marvin find a second touch? There it is, middle towards the field. Zay needs to find a touch, but does. Here's Ollie, pass to the middle. Maddie was on that same side of the wall. If they were more midfield, might have been able to make a play. Here's Marvin. Can't quite. But it is a lot of pressure here early for the RocKenteers, who are already on series point, looking to make light work of this quarterfinal action. Pass up to Ollie. Looking for a pass on the back wall. Maddie's there. Hall can't make the adjustment in time. Marvin keeps it down on this side. Does have to worry about Zay moving forward. Faking past 1. Maddie looks for the shot past the second, but ends up finding the bump. Blooming should be able to at least find the clear off of that, but Ollie right there to meet with the resistance. Off into Marvin's lap. Can't quite keep the handle. eventually the clear will come across. Maddie looks to try and even that out. Sends it forward. It is a shot technically, but Babuzama easily will be able to find that save. Flips the field, sends it the other way. Feel like right now, DSEA would love to put themselves in the driver's seat. They need to find some success on this possession, and they're going to be able to do just that. That's on your head, boy. Blooming, able to pick it up, and it's A on that back line. Taking out one of the defenders. Doesn't need the demo, just simply finds the bump, sends him towards the corner. And there is that lead. DSEA Ignite Red surely need. How long can they keep it? That's going to be the next question that needs to be answered. Able to thwart off this first attack for now. That's a free handoff. Was a big touchdown towards the other side. Looking for Marvin. Can't quite find it. Maddie. Oh, if they had the dominance, might have found the touch there, but couldn't. The middle. Oh, and Marvin almost there to be able to find that tying shot. He did have space if he gets to it. Hold on, speaking of space, Maddie can pick up the control on this, has an opportunity. Great job by Babuzama. Sends it back towards the midfield, and with the help of Blooming, will find the clear. Are now past that midway point here in game number 3. Talked about the need for a response here from DSEA Ignite Red. They've been able to at least find themselves the lead and maintain it for a little while. But it is still just the one goal. One shot could truly send things right back into the tie and have Ignite Red on their back foot. Center towards the middle of the field. Marvin's at mid. Looks to try and keep the pressure forward for the boys in blue. Is that over Blooming's head? No. Which means Ali has to rise up the field of pressure. It actually ends up as a pass over to Marvin. Floats across the goal line, but nobody able to punch it home. Don't have much room for error. It's the one goal lead for now for DSEA Ignite Red. We've seen this RocKenteers squad be able to put up multiple goals in late game scenario already in this series. Surely not feeling comfortable with just the one. Hold on here, Zay. It's a middle pass. Oh, it's off the post. It's double off the post. Oh, not like this. This is one that you're surely going to want back. There's just no way. The good news is you do still have the lead for now. But if the RocKenteers find a way to send this to overtime, all of a sudden, I'm sure in that couple of seconds lining up for the kickoff, you're sitting there saying, we should have had a second goal. Or let's not get ahead of ourselves quite yet. The first thing that the RocKenteers would need to do is find the clear, and there it is. It's towards the net, but Blooming going to be in position to find the save. Blooming also finds the clear. Second 50, sends it deeper into blue territory. Shot's going to be off. Maybe one more bite at it. Ali off to Maddie. It does end up onto the hood of Babuzama, who surely just wants to put it down, and yes, indeed they do, forcing us off to game number 4. Doing a great job of being able to really ground this RocKenteers offense that we have seen be able to put up plenty of shots in the first 2 games, only putting up a mere 2 shots in game number 3. There seems to be a theme here between our teams, though. They're not wanting much time to think about things between games. They just simply want to get back out to the pitch. Let's go ahead and get down to it, chat. It's game number 4. And we've talked about the importance of games 4s over here on the channel throughout the course of the qualifiers. But of course, it feels so often it is the team that wins game number 4, that wins the series. Whether you're the RocKenteers, who will find a very early goal here. Great job by Marvin to pick the pocket, sends it over. Maddie dunks it home. But of course, if you are Ignite Red, despite the fact that you give up the early goal, there is time to not only respond to that, but to take this game number 4. You send it off to game number 5 with all of the momentum. Can't hang your head on one small play. Here is Zay. Forward. Pressure still going to be kept on. Ali looks for the second touch for the middle. Can't quite find it. Now turning into a little bit of a ping pong action. To one side, big touch. To the other side, big touch. Neither team truly seizing offensive control. That might find it. Marvin's shot rings off the post. I know a lot of the players aren't excited about the ping on the crossbar. As a caster, I most certainly am. Talk about the first 75 seconds of play. Ball possession right around that 50% on either side. Slight control, or slight advantage as far as field control for Ignite Red. Of course, a little bit of possession down on this side for the RocKenteers could really turn that thing around, as they do at least take the possession for now. Ollie's shot's going to be on target. Zay with the save. Maddie up, looks to drop it down. Marvin, bang, all right there to drop it on in. Starts with a nice little pass from Maddie. The slightest of touches, and with it finding its touch off the backboard makes it that much easier for Marvin as well. And while the RocKenteers might have given Ignite Red 1, they've come out here in game number 2 and really been able to seize the control. Normally, chat, for these qualifiers, we've been jumping around the brackets a little bit. Not going to be the case today. We're going to stay in this lower half here. Moving forward, the winner of this game does take on Bathelona. Of course, let's not talk about the winner of this game advancing just quite yet, because Ignite Red still has the ability to extend this series. Nice dime of a pass to Babu Zama from Blooming. That gives us a 1-goal ball game. We still have a whole half to play as well. Be Maddie on the sidewall, up and over one. Can't quite find their way past Z. Picks the pocket, looks to try and find a second. Ollie will find the save. Second opportunity shut down as well, and now Marvin has a little bit of space. Zay needs to find the save, but can't. Marvin, bigger, faster, stronger, forces it down the center of the field, and the RocKenteers re-extend their lead to 2. It is still 2 minutes of play. Plenty of time to let this DSEA Ignite Red squad cook. I feel like, though, you would like to at least cut this lead in half by the time you enter into that final 60 seconds of play. It's been 10 shots thus far from the side of the RocKenteers. Meanwhile, that's shot number 7 for Ignite Red. That's a wide open field. Marvin almost finds a way to cross the pitch to get there. 3-2, final 100 seconds of play here in game number 4. But Ollie will take off the side. Oh, Dangerous miss from Blooming could have left things wide open all for that double touch, but I don't think they were expecting it. Zay with the gather, sends it forward, but that ball far and out of his reach makes that save relatively easy. Not easy as that one. Zay will be able to find that secondary touch, moves it towards the middle of the field, and now looking to find that counter-attack opportunity. Shut down, however, and Maddie tries to quickly enter right back into the offensive half. Does get denied as far as for now. Marvin looking for the double touch, had some space. Maddie at least keeps it alive down here, but only for a moment. Nice 50. It's that pressure forward around the midfield line for the RocKenteers. And that's making it so tough for DSEA Ignite Red. They're having to earn every little bit of this field. Here's an opportunity, Babuzama. Oh, I thought that was the angle. Here's Zay, pass on over. Can Babuzama get there? No, he can't. Still space for Blooming, but Maddie with the 50. Huge, sends it towards the midfield line. One last shot, hold on. Oh, I thought that was the angle, chat. It's not, and instead, the RocKenteers move on to that upper bracket qualifier match. It's going to be Bathelona versus the RocKenteers. We just watched the RocKenteers able to take down Ignite Red 3-1 in what was considered an upset, as it was the 6th seed over the 3 seed. Let's see if the 6th seed can keep things rolling and take down the 2 seed as well. Let's get down to it here, chat. Bathelona back out on the blue side. Killer car crash. Tries to find a very early shot. That one just a tad bit off. Almost found its mark. Does seem like, however, off of the rip, this Bathelona squad playing just a little faster than we had seen from DSEA Ignite Red. Right now, though, struggling to get out of their half. Getting pinned back, really more back into their defensive third. Bathelona doing a great job of being able to control the pressure, despite the fact that they've only found one shot in that opening minute. And did have a decent amount of pressure down the opposite side. However, it's a flip of the script, flip of the pitch from one side of the field to the other. Everyone getting involved. Ollie from the pass from Maddie. Just like that. It's our first goal on the board. You wonder if maybe that little longer break maybe playing into the RocKenteers' favor, because remember, they just got done playing a series. It was Bathelona whose series with the Nottingham Nightmares got done pretty well as that last series started, and now it's back-to-back goals in the opening 90 seconds of play as the RocKenteers go up by 2. Full shot. Got him. I don't think I've said it since getting back from the break, chat, but I do appreciate everyone who's smacking that follow button while y'all are here hanging out. I don't have my alerts or anything on while we're live for events like this, just because I don't want those alerts playing up over the gameplay, which I know y'all are here to watch, but I do appreciate y'all. Over on my YouTube, we do have the matches from qualifiers 1 and 2. While I'm talking about that, though, Bathelona very quickly is able to find a response to at least cut this lead in half. Swinging a miss by Maddie, missed opportunity. Highlights from 1 should be going up probably tonight when we're done. If not tomorrow, maybe probably tomorrow for highlights 1. Then we'll get highlights 2 and 3 up probably over the weekend or into early next week. We are closing in on that midway point here in game number 1. And for Bathelona, when we look at field control and ball control, they have been able to go pretty well 50-50 with this RocKenteers squad, despite the fact that they are down by 1. And with this possession here, starting to build up a little bit more pressure. We have pass back towards the middle. Actually, who needs to pass back to the middle? Emu was just trying to be there for themselves. Killer car crash, bang! We're all tied up at 2 with 2:12 left to play. I wish I had that splash goal explosion. They only ever send the colored ones in the shop nowadays. Anyone want to trade me? Smiles. 2 minutes left here in game number 1. It's about which one of these two teams is going to be able to get off to the right foot, the right start here in this qualifying series. He's passed towards the middle from Ollie. Maddie is going to be off the side, but Smarter's already off the back wall and be able to find the read. Can't find it towards mid, but now is upfield. Has some gas in the tank. Looks for the shot over Ollie, but Ollie sends it aside. Hold on. Marvin has some space to rise up on this in the counterattack. Almost able to drop that on target. Now it's Killer Car Crash looking to flip the field and go the opposite way with it. Went to bail off, trying to find the big boost, but couldn't. Is that out of reach? It is out of reach. Oh, and Marvin, second opportunity, finds the angle back towards the middle of the field, back of the net as well. The RocKenteers back into the lead. Right now, the RocKenteers would surely like to extend that lead one more time. They've got the pressure forward to maybe potentially do it here. Maddie sitting, waiting for this ball to drop down, almost able to get there. Smarters, shot fired, that's high. Ollie gets a touch on it to send it back towards mid. Emu keeps it alive in the offensive half. And Bathelona can't really afford to let their foot off the gas. They've got to keep everyone sent forward. There's not much more time to tie things up. Their car crash mirroring on the sidewall. Emu going to be able to pick the pocket, but Marvin's already up in the sky. Regains the possession for the RocKenteers, but only just enough to get past the midfield line. 20 seconds left to play. Emu up in the sky. Can't get it past Maddie. Here's Smarters. Looks to gather at least enough of a control for one more possession for Bathelona. It's a centering pass. Smarters there. Can't cut that shot towards the middle of the field. Killer car crash. Not going to be able to win the 50. And that sends it down deep into this orange half. 0-second play. Can they keep it up and can they go the distance? Ollie looking to try and find a way. Just put that thing down. That touch has to be out of reach. And once it drops, the RocKenteers take game number 1. That thing was close. I mean, technically, Bathelona out shooting the RocKenteers 6 shots to 8. Talk about as far as ball control that last time around. Slight favor as well to Bathelona. More field control, actually, in favor of Bathelona as well. RocKenteers, though, it's efficiency that was their key. Looks like everyone's ready to go into game number 2, so let's get down to it, chat. Still best of 5 action. For our qualifier. So for Bathelona, despite the fact you'll lose game number 1, you look towards game number 2 if you can pivot. and win this one. All of a sudden, the series becomes wide back open again. Remember, it was the RocKenteers who did a pretty good job of controlling the pace that last game despite not having as much possession, right? They had those 2 early goals, and then they were able to put themselves back into the lead with a little bit of time left onto the board. Now that we do move into game number 2, Bathelona would like to find their first lead of the series. Killer car crash gets denied by Ollie. It's a pass back towards the middle. Maddie gonna look to try and send it towards the other side of the field. Kept alive here for now for Bathelona. And while time has been spent down here, and yeah, you can say maybe 2 shots. Hold on, back pass to Maddie. That's going to be high. Kablamo onto the defender. No one's on the backboard. Smarters drops down, finds the save. That will keep things tied for now. Shot launched towards the net from Maddie from distance. Marvin looks for the angle. Oh, swing and a miss. Dangerous miss as it is. Oh, and then bump between 2 teammates. Nobody's in position. And the RocKenteers will strike first. There's that bump I was talking about. On the replay, we get to see it. A costly mistake. The RocKenteers strike first once more. 90 seconds gone by. Bathelona still looking for their first bit of success on the offensive side here. Smarters. Just to try and send that towards the middle. Hello. Thank you. They have the possession here. Killer car crash looks towards Emu. While they've had possession again, kind of like we had mentioned earlier. In the first part, like, you might have possession, but what is that for if you can't really find any threatening shots in the middle of the field? They found 3 shots, all of which required saves, but the saves did indeed happen. Emu pops it up for Maddie. Maddie tried to go underneath Emu. Luckily, Smarters wraps around, finds the save. Maddie, ooh, looks to launch that one in off the shot. Emu will be able to find the save for now, and can they find the clear for Bathelona? That becomes the next question. No gas in the tank for Smarters. Oh, keeps it alive for now. Maddie up and over, killer car crash. Numbers the opposite way. Kablamo. That won't stop the shot from Ollie, however. And the RocKenteers gonna be up by 2. It's 2-0. I appreciate y'all having fun in chat. 2:09 here left in game number 2, and Bathelona still looking for, some shades of success. Their offense found a couple in game 1, hasn't been able to do so here. Matter of fact, I think it's been about a game's worth of Rocket League play where Bathelona has been held scoreless. The RocKenteers on the other side are 95 seconds away from having 5 wins in a row here on stream. That's 5 wins in a row and that would be after having that 5-game banger to start off their day. I don't know why I got stuck on those words. That's my bad. Ollie, follow up. Oh, but Maddie puts it up over the defender. Hold on, I want to see a better angle on this if we can. Killer car crashes, can't get enough of it. Maddie, the slightest of touches. To be able to put it over the last defender. And every shot that Bathelona finds towards the net, the RocKenteers have been able to save. Normally, I would say at this point for Bathelona, you look to try and find something to build upon going into game number 2 or game number 3. I feel like that goes without saying. I mean, it's a best of 5. The RocKenteers 30 seconds away from setting themselves up for a sweep opportunity against the number 2 seed going into the 3rd open here for UniRocketeers. They found those 2 goals to tie things up in game number 1. But then they gave up what would be the game-winning goal. And then they've now allowed 3 in this game. And now you wonder, do you maybe take and utilize that full minute of time in between games here to try and make an adjustment? It looks like that may be the case. Emu's at least gone for a card change, it does seem. Doesn't look like they're going to use all of their time, though. Already getting ready for the pitch. This could very well be our last game of the day. Chat, I know last time around I hung on board for the lower bracket. Not going to be able to do so today. So this is our last series of the evening. Is early pressure down in this Orin half once more for the RocKenteers. Smarters looks to get out of their half. It's the help from Emu, but that uses up all of their resources, all of their gas now gone. Smarters just leaves that pad in time before it comes back. Otherwise, they would have had something to work with. Early opportunities for Bathelona will get shut down by Maddie. I would really like to see them be able to keep consistent pressure down here, even if it doesn't necessarily result in a goal. Just to keep the ball out of the hands from the RocKenteers. Nice flip reset to be able to get that shot on target. Maddie will find the save. That's a savior medal, I do believe we saw already. One technically probably should have registered as 1 as well, but it won't. Maddie's been really stepping up on the defensive side here for the RocKenteers. Smarters has all sorts of gas in the tank, has been given some space, goes for the pinch, but Marvin says not today. Not able to keep the handle on it. Smarters not going to be able to find a touch, but it will be Emu that advances the ball forward. Unfortunately, Marvin steps into the lane, picks the pocket, goes the opposite way, adjusts the car, was expecting, I think, a touch before they got there. We are closing in on that midway point here in game number 3. We are still all tied up. Wait a minute. Hold on. Killer car crash. Off the pass from Smarters. Ollie gets 2 different touches on it. And despite all that, killer car crash will not be denied. Could that potentially be the catalyst for Bathelona to work their way back into things? Every run starts with 1, chat. Emu looks for this double touch. That's not going to drop on target, but Smarters will at least find it. Gathers it off the backboard. That's on your head, boy, as Bathelona goes up by 2. Just had to watch back in silence. That was a thing of beauty. But the RocKenteers do still have plenty of time to fight their way on back. It starts with 1. At that point, As long as they're able to hold the line, they only need one additional to send things to overtime. For Bathelona, they just want to look to try and add to this tally. You try and take as much wind out of the sails of the RocKenteers here in game number 3. You are entering into your final 100 seconds of play. If you can keep the clean sheet, that'd be great. Is there a delay? Just the like couple of seconds, one that's built into Twitch. I don't run a delay unless I'm like streaming like Valorant or Overwatch matches. Rocket League, there's not really need for one. To be fair, I don't get to do too many watches of live Valorant games these days, so usually not. Minute left here in game number 3. Very limited opportunities for the RocKenteers this time around. It's looked a little bit different here in game 3. They've only been able to find 2 shots. They really not have been able to keep very much possession. About 60% of the possession has been in favor of the of Bathelona here. And with that clear, more time continues to dwindle off the clock. 20 seconds. I know some people like that 10-second rule. Could still technically be applied, especially if you find it here, but Killer Car Crash sends it over to Emu, and that big clear, if it wasn't already assured, feels like now you have to know that we are indeed off to game number 4. Don't call it a comeback just quite yet. This game number 4, as we just talked about in that last series, is often the one that feels like is as much of a must-win as it needs to be, even if it's not an actual must-win for both teams, right? Because in a situation like this, for the RocKenteers, you don't exactly want to put yourself into a position where you enter into that game number 5. And, well, Bathelona has 2 games worth of momentum going into it. We did see that didn't necessarily matter in that last series, but it did make things interesting for sure. Yo, RW Dragon, appreciate the raid, fam. Hopefully the games were good over on your end. It's crazy. You had that long start and still ended up done with the early part of the day. It must have been a sweep, I'm guessing. I think I had seen Fontys won game number 1 when I had a chance to see earlier. But welcome on in, y'all. Let's get ready to take to the pitch. You know what? I just realized I have not been using the UniRocketeers transition all day. Shame on me, chat. So Fontys is indeed through to the main event. Not too surprised from what we saw from Fontys in our second matchup on the channel over here. They looked pretty decent on the day earlier. Let's get down to game number 4, chat. Bathelona won game 3 to send us here, to extend this series. But do they have the ability to send us off to game number 5? It's Ollie looking for some early opportunities. Not going to be able to draw that one quite up the way they wanted. But it is still pressure forward. Another opportunity that does sail just a tad bit wide. And you feel like for Bathelona, at this point, You understand the importance of putting yourself into the driver's seat early. You saw how that led to some success last time around. Can you do it here? First minute gone by for now, and neither team has been able to find really too much semblance of offense. I mean, right now it's been the one lone shot from the RocKenteers. Oh, it's a dangerous ball going across the middle. Always gets me nervous when you see that, I'm not gonna lie. And it's gonna register as a shot, but of course didn't have too much oomph on it. So an easy save by Killer Car Crash. Opportunity the opposite way, that does get shut down. Here's Marvin off the sidewall. Has Moo rising up, tries to find a way to sneak that ball underneath, but can't. Ollie around the midfield line, picks the pocket, has some space, tries to fire the shot, but Killer Car Crash finds the save. It is again, pressure forward. Emu finds the save off of a banger shot from Marvin. Smarters launches it forward. Ollie finds the save, and after 2 minutes gone by, still knotted up at 0. In the middle, Maddie looks for a shot. 2 players there. And off the sidewall goes Killer Car Crash. Looks to quickly turn defense into offense. Smarter shot denied here as well. Hold on, Marvin has some space. Does have to worry about the respawn from Emu. Will be able to make a play on the ball. Hear those demos going off in the background. It feels like the RocKenteers have to be due for a goal here soon. They've had 7 shots, none of which have been able to find the lace. Meanwhile, you look on the opposite side of the field, and Bathelona, who are the ones who need to win here in Game 4, well, they've only been able to find 1 lone shot. Stuck in their back half a decent bit. Here they go. Killer Car Crash can't find a way past Marvin. 2 players up, both failing to be able to seize the control. Emu swing and a miss as well, which means some room given for the RocKenteers to flip this pressure. Maddie looking for a play, able to sneak it right on by, and the RocKenteers take the lead with 1:33 left to play. Wow. What's cooler than being cool? Well, Maddie, that thing was cold right there. However, could be a kickoff goal here. No, that's going to get shut down. Now it's Ollie looking for the counter-attack once more. Wins the 50 off to Maddie. You do still have time to respond here for Bathelona. You can't get too frustrated. We've seen where the teams who have been outshot are still able to pull off the dub. But time is of the essence. You only have 16 seconds. Shot's going to be forward. An opportunity. Maybe. Just one last chance at it with 20 seconds left. Sorry, chat. I had to clear something out of chat there. One more chance at it for the Bathelona squad. Do they have a chance? They've got to find a way to get the clear here. They've been caught back in their half so much of this game. About 60% ball control, a little over 60% field control leads the way for the RocKenteers to be able to pull off the upset.